All right, the halacha we're going to be talking about today is something which really is um, almost more common sense than halacha, and that is the halacha of traveling on Erev Shabbos. Now, our halacha is brought in the Shulchan Aruch about traveling on Erev Shabbos, and it's really not so negate us because that's talking about somebody who was walking to a destination. So Shaila, if the Shulchan Aruch applies to somebody going in a horse and buggy, Elachar does not apply to somebody going in a car, so it's hard to apply to us. The halacha in regards to traveling on Erev Shabbos is use your head, use your seichel. Different rabbanim will tell you different shiurim of how much time you have to leave to travel before Shabbos. One of the more logical things that I've heard is give yourself double time. That means if you're traveling somewhere that takes 2 hours to get, you leave 4 hours before Shabbos, and that's really makel. That's like bare minimum. Some people are not going to have to travel that all Friday afternoon. If you're able to, that's very good. But you can't leave from Chicago to Milwaukee. It takes an hour and a half. You can't leave there less than 3 hours before Shabbos, minimum. But that's not a blanket rule. You still have to use your head. That means if you're traveling to Northbrook, so let's say it's a 35-minute ride. I wouldn't say, okay, so just leave an hour and 10 minutes before Shabbos, because you have to take into account things which could and do happen. For instance, sometimes somebody has a fender bender. You have a fender bender, and the guy insists that he's not letting you go, and he's calling the police, and until the police come down, the whole thing could take you an hour and a half. You gotta give yourself. I mean, I think that if you're driving somewhere in a car, if you're going to Skokie, so then big deal. If push comes to shove, you'll just get out of the car and park it there and walk the rest of your way. Of course, unless you have like little kids and stuff. But in that case, whatever, you'll get an Uber, you get over there, you'll figure it out. But you gotta leave yourself an hour leeway if you're driving somewhere. A minimum, I would say an hour and a half minimum, regardless of where you're going. Obviously, if you're going on a plane, then you gotta take into account the fact that the plane could get stuck on the tarmac when you're arriving, when you're landing. Use your head. If you're not sure, ask a shaila. And the shailas of what to do if you are on the road and you're not getting to your destination in time are very complex. We're not going to be discussing it on this year. That's a shaila we have to call the Rav at that time. But hopefully everybody will take the proper precautions and never have to ask those shailas. Okay, have a great day.